Would you believe that an animated film about a fictional K-pop girl group fighting demons just became one of Netflix's biggest global hits ever, broke streaming records, put its soundtrack onto the real Billboard Hot 100, and is now officially getting a sequel? That's the story of K-pop Demon Hunters, the surprise phenomenon of 2025 that is no longer just a one-off experiment, but the start of a new franchise. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve as this franchise grows, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss our deep dives into K-pop and K-drama moments shaping global entertainment. When K-pop Demon Hunters first landed on Netflix, many dismissed it as a quirky mashup, an animated movie where an idol group moonlights as demon slayers in neon-lit Seoul. But what happened next turned it into Netflix's record setter. It dominated Netflix's global charts for more than 7 straight weeks, amassing viewership numbers that rivaled the likes of Spider-Verse and Frozen. Critics were caught off guard by its bold art style, openly inspired by Spider-Verse, while fans couldn't get enough of its mix of idol aesthetics and supernatural action. Then came the shocker. The fictional soundtrack by in-film girl group Hunter X didn't just stay fictional. Its lead single, Golden, broke into the real Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 2. TikTok went wild with dances, edits, and even Disney's Stitch character was memed into a viral dance challenge set to the song. Suddenly, an animated film about idols fighting demons wasn't just trending. It was breaking into music charts and mainstream pop culture worldwide. The sequel confirmation dropped on August 31st, when reports from Netflix and Sony insiders confirmed that K-pop Demon Hunters would expand into a trilogy. 2 more animated sequels are now in early development, and industry chatter suggests a live-action remake and even a stage musical are being discussed. Fans immediately pushed hashtags like K-pop Demon Hunters 2 into the trending lists, celebrating that Part 2 is now official. Social platforms lit up with posts labeled "Breaking," spreading the news across Twitter, Threads, TikTok, and Reddit, generating millions of impressions within hours. Fan-made concept trailers for Part 2 on YouTube started racking up views in the millions, with comment sections full of people saying they can't believe they're this hyped for a sequel to an animated K-pop crossover. But here's the cliffhanger that keeps fans nervous. While the creative side is moving forward, Netflix and Sony must renegotiate their partnership contract before everything can be fully green-lit. Both companies co-own the IP, and insiders note that hammering out sequel rights is a business hurdle. It's the only cloud in an otherwise blue sky. Yet fans remain optimistic, pointing out that with a 96% Rotten Tomatoes score, awards season buzz for its representation, and being Netflix's most watched animated film ever in certain metrics, the franchise potential is too lucrative to stall. For now, all signals point toward resolution and a full rollout of sequels. The emotional resonance of K-pop Demon Hunters is what turned virality into legacy. For many viewers, especially international K-pop fans, the story of idols juggling the pressure of perfection on stage with the fight against literal demons felt like a metaphor for the pressures real idols face. Communities across platforms latched onto that message. Global fans created edits drawing parallels between Hunter X and real groups like Blackpink or aespa, while Korean press praised the film as the first Korean-themed animation to dominate worldwide. It struck a balance, flashy enough to entertain casual viewers and layered enough to reward fans who looked deeper. That dual appeal explains how it crossed over from niche fandom to mainstream Netflix audiences in the US, Europe, and beyond. Virality signals have been everywhere. TikTok challenges with choreography from the movie's songs amassed billions of views collectively. On Reddit, threads comparing the fictional group Hunter X's debut to real K-pop debuts trended for days. Fan art exploded across DeviantArt and Twitter, with artists imagining what Part 2 costumes might look like. On YouTube, dozens of reaction channels declared it the first K-pop anime they've ever binged, helping introduce K-culture to audiences far removed from idol fandom. Even Polygon, Hollywood Reporter, and Digital Spy have all run features on the sequel confirmation, showing that coverage has jumped from niche sites to mainstream entertainment press. The breaking point where the story truly exploded into virality came when the soundtrack crossed into reality. When Golden charted on Billboard, fans felt they weren't just watching an animated world, they were participating in it. It was proof of concept that a fictional idol group could compete alongside BTS or Taylor Swift on real-world charts. This kind of crossover moment is rare, and it cemented the movie's position as a cultural event. Some critics even speculated that this could inspire more studios to blend fictional and real music releases, with K-pop Demon Hunters as the template. Global reach is undeniable. In the United States, where K-pop often competes for mainstream recognition, the movie trended in Netflix's overall top 3 for weeks. In Asia, it was hailed as a proud cultural export, while in Europe, critics praised it for its art style and diversity. Netflix confirmed the film was watched in over 150 countries, making it not just a Hallyu moment, but a global pop culture juggernaut. And with talk of award nominations for Best Animated Feature, its evergreen value only grows. Years from now, it will likely be referenced the way Spider-Verse is, as a genre-bending milestone. Importantly, there has been almost no backlash. That in itself is remarkable in an industry where crossovers often face skepticism. The only concern lies in business negotiations, but fans view that as temporary. Instead, the discourse is celebratory. TikTok comments are full of fans saying, "This is the first time my non-K-pop friends watched something with me and loved it." On Twitter, memes of Hunter X standing next to real idol photos highlight just how seamlessly the film has embedded itself into fandom culture. So why does this matter beyond just hype? Because K-pop Demon Hunters proves that K-culture can thrive in animation and create new entry points into the Hallyu wave. It shows how a hybrid of genres, idol pop, fantasy action, animated storytelling, can create a phenomenon that breaks charts and borders. For Netflix, it's validation that investment in Korean content pays off globally. For fans, it's a legacy moment. A fictional girl group that feels real, a soundtrack that topped charts, and now a sequel that promises to expand this bold experiment into a full-fledged franchise. The evergreen takeaway is clear. K-pop Demon Hunters will be remembered as the animation that opened doors. Just as Spider-Verse redefined comic adaptations, this movie redefined how Korean pop culture could be represented in animation. The sequel confirmation ensures this legacy continues. It may inspire a wave of projects blending K-pop with other genres, and it cements Korea's cultural influence across yet another medium. So now the question goes to you. What part of this franchise excites you most? The animated sequel already in development, the possibility of a live-action remake, or the idea of a stage musical that brings demon-fighting idols to life? Let us know in the comments, and if you want the fastest deep dives on K-pop and K-drama moments that matter, join us so you never miss the next chapter.